YouTube? What's going on there? It's your boy CBR Kid, and we back again. And guess what we back on, guys? We're back to working on the F4i. All right, you guys, I don't know if you guys can see in the background, the '08 track bike is back there behind it. As you guys know, we took a break from the F4i to get the track bike up and running so we could get ready for track season. And pleased to say we had our first track day just over a week ago, about a week and a couple of days ago. That video is already up, so go check that out, where I take you through an entire track day from waking up in the morning, being in the garage, from loading the trailer to getting to the track, going through tech, all that good stuff. All right, so go check that video out. So when I left off with the F4i, the problem we were having was we swapped out to a stock Honda ignition, right? The problem we were having was the bike would turn on, but the fuel pump would not prime. So through a series of trial and error, try this, try that, so on and so forth, we basically got nowhere, okay? So we didn't, couldn't figure it out. And I had some comments, a couple people, somebody posted something about maybe it's a fuse. I've gone through all the fuses, they're all good. Then somebody brought something up that I hadn't even considered. I actually didn't even think about it, and should have been one of the first things I looked at, because I actually ran into the same problem when I was converting the '08 track bike, which is the bank angle sensor. And that sits in the nose of the bike, and basically if it's not sitting in the right position, the fuel pump won't prime, the bike won't start, or if you're riding, it'll cut the bike off. So pretty much if you fall, you flip the bike over, something like that, that's one of the things that helps cut the bike off. And it's a safety thing. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. It's in the Hondas, it's in the nose of the bike, usually attached to the headlight assembly. And in this case, I actually removed the headlight assembly, all right, and I had to remove all the wiring because it's connected to the turn signals and everything, the lights and all like that. So it's actually a little device, looks just like this. All right, if you guys can see that. And on the back, right there, it tells you which way is up. If you guys can see that, it's all in black, so I know you may have a tough time, but it tells you that it should be facing up in that direction. So what we're going to do, we're going to connect we're going to connect the whole, if you guys see, it's a whole wiring assembly. This has the relays and the connectors for the turn signals, the lights and everything else. But we're going to get this connected to the bike and see if we can't get that fuel pump to prime just by connecting this and having the bank angle sensor in the correct position. So I'm going to get this connected and we're going to see what happens. All right, guys, so you see this wiry, this spaghetti spider web of wires. This is actually, this gray connector right here was actually connected to connect that whole web of, turn signal connectors, which were spliced in, so they had been cut. And that's for the headlight assembly. There's one more, and there's a couple of relays that look like that. I may have to check those, but here's the bank angle sensor. So you see it says up there, so I'm going to turn it, and I'm just going to actually, let me get it stuck to the fork. I'm actually just going to set it in place, just in the right position. It doesn't necessarily have to be mounted, but it just has to be facing the correct way. All right. If it's upside down, it won't mount. So you see, guys, I'm trying to get this thing to just sit in place. It doesn't matter where it sits as long as it's in the right position. So right now it's facing the correct way. All right, and we got our ignition just hanging off to the side here. It's not mounted back into the bike yet, into the triple tree. So here's the ignition. We're going to turn it on, and I still have nothing. All right, bike's in neutral, ignition is on, but as you guys heard or didn't hear, more specifically, no priming from the fuel pump. So we're back to the drawing board, guys. I'm going to check those relays that are connected to that whole wiring assembly. It may have something to do with that, or it may be something totally different. Who knows? All right, so we still got that issue going on. So that's where we are, guys. I wanted to get back to this bike because we've already put up, I think, 3 or 4 videos on this one. So we want to get this thing going and see if we can get it figured out. All right, so My next step is going to be to check those relays in that particular wiring assembly, because you never know, they may be bad. I'm not 100% sure. But the other thing I noticed in this process was before I could hit the starter and then you would hear the bike turn over, but it wouldn't start. Now it's not even turning over. So it's something that I've done somewhere along the way. I'll go back, retrace my steps, undo it, and we're going to get this thing going, guys. I'm pretty confident we can get this thing going. If not, we may have to call in reinforcements in the form of Big Brother Tinker or Big Brother Toriano. We'll get those guys in here if need be and get it torn down even further and build it back up. All right, but we're going to get this bike running. All right, I'm determined. My will is stronger than the bike. All right, so you best believe we're going to get this thing going. But just wanted to give you guys a quick update and a quick reintroduction to the F4i. All right, and once we're done with it, it'll be a pretty cool little track bike. All right, so that's all I got for you guys for this episode. All right, and like I always tell you guys, all my riders out there in the rider sphere, you guys stay safe. I know it's nice and warm and riding season all over the place, so get out there, have a good time on the bike. But like I always tell you guys, keep the shiny side up, keep the rubber side down, and I will see you guys next time.